My name's Eloise Robertson. I'm studying a Bachelor of Software Technology with a specialist major in Cybersecurity and System Administration. I actually started a degree in communications with a major in social and political science with a view of going into the United Nations or other global NGOs. So I learned pretty quickly that there was kind of a lot of wasn't a lot of employment opportunities in that field, and that I would have to do a job that I didn't really like for tons of years before I was really able to get to kind of like a point where I was more interested in. And so I really kind of took myself and I thought about kind of wrote a pros and cons list and really thought about like what I was good at, which was technology, and what I was interested in, which was kind of really doing like some kind of really groundbreaking work and helping people and being involved in kind of like bigger conversations. And so I kind of thought about a couple different streams within technology, but then I really settled on cybersecurity. And definitely never regretted that decision. So a lot of different things, as I touched on, was something that I felt passionate about and something that I thought I was good at, and I wanted to be in a field in which I could help people. I mean, I obviously also knew that cybersecurity was a skill that was really in demand at the moment, and women in STEM are always in demand. So it was something that I knew I never had to worry about job security or competitive pay rates. Like I was really kind of felt like really set about that decision. Another thing that I really liked about a career in STEM and specifically a career in cybersecurity is it's something I could really travel with. So I'm hoping in a few years I could land a job with a global company, potentially Google or Cisco, and then I'd be able to travel the world, London, California, Singapore, doing, the work that I've been trained to do. Well, I actually went to an all-female high school, so the fact that I'm often the only woman or one of two women in my classes is definitely something that, kind of took a little while to get used to, and I've definitely had situations where someone in, a male classmate will be struggling with a question or needing some advice on coding, and I'll offer my advice, and then they'll kind of choose to just wait another 10 minutes until the teacher's free for, them to give them the exact same advice, which, isn't an amazing feeling. And then, of course, because women are so in demand, there are some quotas around, women employment. So often if I, get an internship or kind of get into a competitive program, sometimes, my male friends will say, oh, good thing about those quotas, like it's, I only got it because of that, which, I like to remind them that I've got, a 6.5 GPA and I've completed, 2 internships, and I'm a joy to be around. So, they normally back off after that. And I mean, if there are quotas, as there should be, I just take it as, that's something that, women really deserve to be able to be in the room and making decisions. I think I would have loved to know just how much, demand and support there is for women in STEM. So I've completed 2 kind of like women programs, one at Cisco and one at Ernst & Young, programs that specifically targeting women in STEM. And, that's just 2 examples of, the hundreds of companies that are really looking to, support and recruit women in STEM. And then also, even though you're young, I would definitely start to think about what you want out of a career, and kind of look at, the specialties, because I think that that's something that's, becoming more important, is to kind of specialize, whether you're interested in AI or robotics, and kind of look at those different streams and the advantages and disadvantages of both. Whether you want a competitive pay rate or flexible hours, the ability to travel, there are so many, positives about, careers in STEM, and I think a lot of them are ticked with, specific streams. So yeah. Well, this is kind of some specific advice. So as I said, I did do 2 years of a communications degree, which I probably knew about a year in that it really wasn't for me. And so I guess I just wish that I'd made that decision to switch sooner, because I kind of felt like, well, I'm a year in, I just need to finish it and then I'll work out, how to get into something I want to do. But I think, my best advice would be to really kind of, if you're a year in or 2 years in or 3 years in, really make that switch kind of just as soon as possible. And then, because now I think about it, I don't look at it as a waste. You know, I do have like this communications background now, but you know, I did do 2 years of communications. And you know, I wish that I just went straight into software engineering, but you know, it was either that or I spent my whole lifetime in a career that I wasn't that interested in. So yeah, kind of specific advice, but if you feel like you're in the wrong space, you know, just make that decision, you know, go with your gut, I would say.